Hello, welcome to day one of 21 topics in a jar. Here's my jar. Okay, so in this jar, I have 20, I think it's actually slightly more than 21 questions that I'm going to work my way through one by one every working day for the next 21 days and tackle the questions. They are all about things relating to delegation. And it's everything from the tactics of how to delegate well, all the way through to some of the identity stuff, like who even am I if I'm not the one doing everything? The questions are a mixture of things I wondered about when I was a manager and also things that I hear from my clients when I'm working to support them on their delegation journey or general sort of team management type of stuff. Delegation almost always comes up because it's a common sticking point for people. So let's dive in. The first, I don't yet have enough space to like shake it and shuffle them up. So we're just going to take the top one. So this question is, how do I stay informed without getting back in the weeds? Is the question. The answer here, I think, is in understanding the mechanics of delegation, because I think we often we think delegation is just going down the line, but it has bits that also go up the line. So we'll cover this a few times, I imagine, in this series, but here we go. So when you delegate something, and sometimes this is explicit if you're giving somebody a piece of work or a project, and it's kind of a initiating, starting vibe. Sometimes it's more implicit if actually it's a bigger kind of role delegation, where it's sort of assumed that you both understand the role and the remit and what it is that this person is meant to be doing. We'll talk about it for the explicit version, and then you can think about how this follows through into some of the parts of delegation that are more implicit around people that you're working with. So going down the line, as the manager or the person doing the delegating, you ultimately hold the accountability for whatever the task is, like making sure that this thing, project, goal, piece of work, task gets done. That ultimately stays with you. What you do when you delegate is give the person who you're delegating to responsibility. So they need to respond with action by doing stuff in relation to this project, task, piece of work, goal. And you need to give them authority. And the authority is, here are the boundaries of how much decision-making power you have in relation to this thing. Once you go over that boundary, then you need to come back to me. And then going back up the way, you also need to set up information flow and escalation. So the information flow is, let me know how you're getting on. And the escalation is, if this thing starts to go wrong, tell me before the deadline so that I can either step in or coach you through how to resolve the issue. Don't let this go past this deadline or this threshold of whatever description. So if we take an example, maybe you're organising an event, you're going to say, dear person in my team, I need you to, I don't know, let's say, invite this guest list to this event. You can make decisions up to this limit. So that might be about, handling inquiries or queries or those kind of things. I need you to tell me how it's going a couple of weeks in advance. So if we don't have a very good RSVP rate, then we can think about some other approaches to get people signed up to this event. And if you have queries that come in that you don't know what to do with, let me know and I'll give you the answers or I'll point you in the right direction. So there you've set up the downflow, responsibility and authority, and the upflow of escalation and information. Because what we want to do is make sure that you, as the person doing the delegating, are set up for that future accountability conversation at the end of this task, project, goal, whatever it is, to be able to say, well, what happened? Was it a success? Was it partially successful? Was it an outright failure? And what happened? What do we want to do more of next time? What lessons are we learning? What do we want to not do next time? And make sure that you're getting that chance for accountability and review. So you need both of those information flows. The other reason for the information coming up is so that you've got enough information so that if your manager, director, stakeholder comes to you and goes, oh, what's happening with this event or whatever the thing is, you've got enough information to answer that question without feeling flustered about the fact that you don't have all of the information right at your fingertips, or be able to say, I'm not sure right now because I'm getting an update from this person on Friday, so I will speak to them on Friday and then let you know after that, or whatever that looks like. So in order to stay out of the weeds, you need to make sure that you've got not just the delegation going down, but also the information coming back up so that you can trust that the person is going to bring it back to you in a timely fashion if they're having a struggle. So that's my answer to day 1. Tune in on Monday for day 2 and we will work this through. So every working day from now until the end of the 21 days. Speak to you next time. Bye.